But before we get into our week 4 college picks, we're going to do a quick recap of last week's picks. Jake, how did you do?
We went 1-1 last week. Unfortunately, Texas A&M decided to score a late second touchdown to take the lead and to beat Notre Dame. Pittsburgh and West Virginia did hit the over, kind of hit the under.
Yeah.
Scoring early on, but there was a lot of points scored especially in the fourth quarter. I think it got all the way up to 55. I think total for the game. Ended up still hitting the under, so 1-for-1. So all in all, not too bad.
No, it's not bad at all. 1-1. Nick, how'd you do after your 2-0 week the previous week?
Well, better than me. Now we're back to 500. 0-2. Back to reality. Clemson stinks. It wasn't just the first half of last week.
Klubnik or whatever his name
is. I lost 21-24 versus Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech could be good. I was a little. I didn't think they were going to be that good. They're pretty good. The other one, Vanderbilt at South Carolina, I had the over 48.5. I do think this would have hit if Sellers was not hurt. Diego Pavia did what I thought he would do. They put up 31. If South Carolina could have helped at all, that over would have hit. But 0-2 for me. Let's get it better this week.
Absolutely. Yep. And my two, I probably had the worst bet of the week with my South Carolina plus 17.5 at Miami. My hatred for Florida. South Florida. Yeah. That's what I meant. South Florida plus 17 at Miami. Beck definitely fueled me picking that one. And Beck might be a guy now all of a sudden. So not going to touch him, not going to bet him, not going to bet against him. Yeah, that was brutal. They got absolutely destroyed. And then my other pick was Texas Tech. The over didn't hit, and it wasn't their fault. Oregon State just did not get to 20 points. Needed them to get one more touchdown in order to hit that over. So it was close, but just not enough. So went 0-for-2 this week as well.
Sheesh, so 1-for-6 or 1-5 or
1-5. Yeah, that means we are due.
Big bounce back. So now we are moving on into week 4, and Jake, you can give us your 2 picks. So let's start off and have a good week.
Yeah, let's get back to what do we know? We know Cignetti scores points, don't we? Yes, we do.
They don't have a Friday game.
No, they don't. Cignetti decided to score 73 points on his interstate Indiana State last week. Larry Bird, old school. I don't know if caught any ideas, but yeah. So do it again. It doesn't need the other team's 3 points. Each week they've almost doubled their total, and they went from 20 something, then went 50 something, and then they went 73.
We going 144.
And we might. You don't know. You don't know what they're about to do. But 156 total points scored in 3 weeks. I mean, that's averaging, just over 50 points a game, 52.5. I mean, they're almost telling you that they're gonna get you close to it. Illinois, we saw them a couple weeks ago against Duke, hand it to them in the second half, and then last week they played a no-name schools and they won 38-0. So both these teams should be good.
Yeah.
In Indiana, I think points are just going to be scored. First real test from 2, ranked. I think it's going to be.
I think Indiana's favorite game, aren't they?
Not by much,
but they are. I mean, Illinois is
home.
9 in the nation.
Yeah, but
but I don't that much of a difference. 9 and 20 or whatever. 1 and 19 is probably a big difference, but
I also do find it interesting that everybody before the season was saying Illinois is this year's Indiana, kind of. They have a weaker schedule.
Both 3
they're playing each other, so yeah, it'll be interesting.
Big Ten matchup.
All right, Big Ten matchup.
52.5. Second one, we're gonna be to Nebraska, Michigan, number 21, Michigan at Nebraska. We're going Nebraska money line straight up. We're
all right.
They are dogs at home. I want to say they're 2.5 points underdog at home.
Yeah.
I think Patrick Mahomes look like
Baby Mahomes
show up in a big game. I think that's kind of
his body looks like him.
Yeah. No, and does a bunch of things. And
there was an interview.
There's so many things. Yeah.
It's sorry, I look like him.
Some dress like him and cosplay as him.
Yeah. So it's pretty funny.
I was born this
way. But so you're trying to get engaged too.
That's good.
But he's 3-0 this year. He's a sophomore. I think he got rid of those little freshman struggles last year getting into college football, being such a hyped-up quarterback. And I think Underwood is dealing with the opposite of that. Super hyped-up quarterback going to Michigan. Now, Nebraska and Michigan, are they really the same? Probably not in recent years. 10, but, When you're that highly level of a quarterback recruit, you're supposed to like throwing the ball for 300, moving the ball around, not having any. But Michigan's not an easy place to play quarterback either, even though they've always been a run-heavy team and defense, and it is still Big Ten. I just don't think he's going to have a good game. I think it's going to be Dylan Raiola. It's just going to be a better quarterback in the game.
I like that one. I agree with that. I was leaning towards Nebraska, and I was going to take the points, but money line works.
Plus 115 too. Yeah, you could take the points, but at that point, I mean.
Yeah, I mean they should win outright. They should.
The only thing I'm worried about in that game is if the running back from Michigan, Haynes.
Yeah.
Is if they are
he
like,
could get
hey,
going.
Let's get
which
him
could
going.
That'd be the problem where
because he's the best player in the game.
Yeah, Michigan has a lot better players than Nebraska. Yeah. It's just we'll see if
it comes down to Underwood needing to make plays to win. That's the best spot Nebraska wants to be in. If it gets to that late. So I do agree that is a great game, great option. So you have two good options in games here. Tough to pick between. You know where you're
leaning towards Indiana. One, I think that's just a one to watch. This is our first time picking
Indiana. Yeah, I was throwing them out there.
This is the first time we're taking.
And every time we don't add them into our pick, they hit.
52.5. I mean, I don't think that's that many points for Indiana and Eddie. I think they're going to score at least 20 or 30, and you have.
I think both teams
each team's going to score. It's not going to be like the Indiana game where you need them to damn near cover it.
It could be 40. It could be 40 or 50 with these two teams.
I don't think either of these teams is a juggernaut on defense. They're going to shut the other one out, and we're going to be hoping one carries it. I think they're both going to be able to put up enough to get us there.
I think their offenses are just better too. Their offenses are just better in college. For some, just like their defense, they're okay. They'll be all right, but like you can't stop the offense. So
yeah, no, I like that. You like that, Matt?
Absolutely. So our first bet will be the.
Let's go, Kurt.
2.5. Yeah, let's go Sig. All right, so we got our first one, and now Nick will be on to your two picks.
Jake, I think the first thing you said was let's go back to the well. Is that what you said? Something like that? Well, going back to the well, Texas Tech over. I mean, they didn't hit last week. I will say they didn't hit last week. But up 45, they were humming on all cylinders. This game's going to be Texas Tech at Utah, over 58.5. Utah's quarterback, Devin Dampier, is a stud. He's a stud. From the first game, up in Boston, I was at the sportsbook, lost all the money I brought, and I had to watch UCLA versus Utah. I was thinking Nico Ilimava, whatever his name is, was the guy I was supposed to watch. No, sir. This dude, Devin Dampier, very 0 interceptions in his first 3 games. Utah scored 43, 63, and 31 their last 3. Texas Tech is Texas Tech. They've scored 67, 62, and 45. I mean, they just put up points. And this is their first real test on defense, I think. 58.5 should be very easy for both of these teams. I think they both score 40 each. And it's going to be a really fun one to watch. I'm really excited to see this Utah QB. Pretty good team.
Texas Tech team. Yeah, this is what Texas Tech has been waiting for. And likewise with Utah. It's another marquee matchup of the weekend. It's not just like our Indiana matchup, it's not 2 top 10 teams, but it's it's a good that people are going to want to watch. And I haven't seen
somebody's going to prove that they're legit, or they both will, Yeah,
this could be like an overtime game, just a game where it's just answer, and it's whoever has it last, or if it goes to OT. It's definitely I like that game a lot. So that's your first pick. What do you have for your second pick?
Second pick I also love, and I am not really a big fan. Foreshadowing of I'm not really a big fan of these big spreads because I mean it could blow someone out and win by 28 and they still blew them out. They didn't cover, but I do think this Oregon team is really good. I have Oregon minus 34.5 versus Oregon State. Oregon State's 0-3. They have not looked good. Just got blown out by Texas Tech. They lost to Fresno State and they've also lost to Cal. Oregon also doesn't just beat teams; they annihilate them. I mean, they just won 69-3 a couple weeks back. Dante Moore's pretty good. He sat a year out last year behind Dylan Gabriel, so he's able to play offense after his first year at UCLA. I think Oregon beats this team, beats the brakes off of Oregon State. In-state rivalry too. What are your thoughts?
Especially on that, because we took Texas Tech versus Oregon State over last week, and Oregon State just couldn't score a point until the end of the game. So, and Oregon,
Correct.
like you said, that's their MO right now. They are beating up on teams. It's not just like the track meet right now, just an absolute buzzsaw, and they got Penn State next week. So I am sure they're going to be firing and getting their starters out. Just like, let's just get up a lot. So I really like that. Yeah, I like both those games. I absolutely.
Oregon's definitely going to want to score a bunch of points too, because you don't know how many points are going to be in those other bigger game matchups. I mean, we've been saying it every week, how much points matter. Like,
yeah,
teams really shouldn't be beating somebody 69-3, but guess what? They kind of have to. Well, that's what, like, they have to now.
Their backups are better than their starters.
Exactly.
Yeah,
they can't.
And you're not just not going to play. Yeah, you're not just not going to play.
Yeah.
Dan Lanning's going to have.
34.5. It seems land high all at the same time with how bad Oregon State kind of feels.
Oregon State looks rough. I'm surprised. It should be I mean, when we talk about my
spreads
and my picks,
so it's like,
you'll see what into the 40s, because there is a difference. There is a difference in team.
Yeah.
Between
I mean, they can win. They can win by 30. It's still a blowout.
But 34 is high for like an Oregon State team. You'll see 34.5 when it's like a FCS team. Like, that's bad for a well-known.
I mean,
program.
Oregon State to have a couple good drives in Oregon, just 50, and all of a sudden it's still a 30 point game.
Oregon will probably score
50.
Oregon should score 60 or 50 or 60.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I'm leaning the other.
What were you leaning towards? You're leaning Texas Tech.
I'm leaning Texas Tech
I want Texas Tech game anyways. Just give it to me.
That's an
Give
easy
me Texas Tech at Utah.
30-30.
I want to watch this game much more than the other one.
I agree. Absolutely. I wouldn't tune in. I'd be checking on my phone for the Oregon game.
I'm okay with that. That's probably going to be a late game too.
Yeah. Oh, after we hit our first two legs, we're just sitting there waiting for
a 10 p.m. game start.
After dark.
I love it. So that's great. So, all right, now we're locking in Texas Tech at Utah over 58.5. Awesome. So we got our first two of the 3-leg parlay. Now we're on to my picks. And for my picks, they're both essentially the same type of pick. So you will see a lot of similarities in my reasonings. And that's why I did it, because I don't want you to not pick one of mine because of a high spread. So I went two very high spreads.
Thank you.
We are starting with Kent State at Florida State. Florida State 45.5 points. And reasons for this: Florida State's already shown that they can handle these big spreads. Last week they won 77-3, and that was a 43.5 point spread.
Yeah, but against who?
Another shit team. But this is Kent State.
Kent State's
we've already had success betting against Kent State. So like Kent State,
go to the well. Let's go back to the well.
Teams that we know, Kent State's bad, and we know FSU. They still have this attitude and motivation about them where they're trying to still prove themselves and make last year, and especially at quarterback. Like Castellanos transferred from BC after being benched last year.
Yeah,
they have a lot of just dogs that want to win. They won by 70 points last week. They want to do that again. So I wouldn't be shocked if they pull that off. And Kent State obviously showed that they can't cover in these big spreads because they lost 62-14 to Texas Tech. And that was a 47.5 point spread. Yeah. So I'm really confident that FSU can do it. And just rolling into the next pick, because they are so similar, I have UAB at Tennessee 40.5 point favorite. And this again, Tennessee showed that they can cover. They won 72-17 just 2 weeks ago when they were 40 point favorites there. Tennessee is coming off a bad loss against Georgia. They should have won. They put up 40 points against a tough Georgia team. And UAB has given up 42 points, 38 points, and 28 points against scrub teams. Tennessee is going to score 60 points in this game, and it in the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
The transfer that they have that from App State, Aguilar, he's a stud, and he's highly motivated. Just got there, played at a smaller school. They do not take their foot off the gas either. So that's why I like both of those. And as a fun stat for you, there have been, of the top 25 ranked teams currently, there's 7 spreads this year that have been over 40 points. They are 5-2 against the spread, and 2 of those wins were Florida State and Tennessee. So they've both already shown it, and the stats show that these spreads do cover. The two that didn't hit are like, I think it was Auburn for one of them, and it was Carson Beck with Miami for the other. So it's kind of like offenses that are maybe not as consistent, whereas FSU and Tennessee have been more consistent offensively. So those are my two blowouts. Which one do you think who's hitting 70 points essentially?
I think Tennessee's got the better shot of covering.
Yeah, coming off of a Georgia defense, they should be able to come and play this team and be like,
exactly, real free about it. They're going to feel real nice about their down the sideline, no problems at all.
Which they did last week.
I mean, Florida State's going to have the same deal with Kent State, but 45.
Florida State, I think they both cover. The reason they're at 40.
I mean, one of these is going to cover.
Going to dominate. Yeah. I don't know much about UB. I know Kent State sucks.
But how many times can you get beat by that many points?
Well,
Kent State had a losing streak.
The only
it was a long losing streak.
I'll play devil's advocate. Tennessee did give up 41 points. How good is UAB's offense?
That's a good point. They have scored in the
20s.
It's
not the over. 30s. It's spread. Spread though. It's not the over.
No, that's true. But Tennessee, when they did cover against a team in a comparison, they gave up 17.
I like it. I was just saying that's my only thing I would say.
And another I know Kent State, throw out,
they're not going to score.
FSU is coming off a bye week, so they're a little bit more rested. I don't know if that changes anything for you guys.
They're also kids, could be a little bit more stiff.
It could be. Yeah.
Too much free time.
Rest or rust, Well,
that's I don't know. I'm talking myself into FSU now.
Hey, you get 5 points with Tennessee. Good. It's 5 points less of a spread.
Yeah, Nikki talked me into Florida State, but I'm going to stick with Tennessee because I don't.
All right. Yeah. No. And I agree because I don't want to make that point. And I made the point. We'll go back to it. If you have 20 points and Tennessee just has to score 70.
Yeah.
That's honestly, we're hoping on 70 points. And that's how we have to look at it. Right, cool.
Or I guess 61. They have 61 if they're going to give up. They should still be able to cover.
They'll be all right.
I agree. I'll take it. I'm totally happy with it. So to recap our 3 picks for this week, we have Illinois at Indiana over 52.5 points. We have our 3-leg parlay for college football season. We've got Illinois at Indiana over 52.5 points. Tech at Utah over 58.5 points. And then lastly, we have UAB at Tennessee to cover 40.5 points.
Yep.
I feel good about this one. This is a good one.
Hopefully. We need one. We gotta
get something.
This is it. That's our parlay for week 4 of the college football season. Let us know in the comments below what other plays you have for this weekend. Good luck on your bets, and we'll see you next week.